5.3 The ultimate of skillful means. Active teaching of 32 responses, 33 forms. Non neutral, non laissez-faire, non interventionniste. 5.3 善巧方便之究竟。32音，33声的主动教化，非中立，非放任，非不介入。Whenever a being can be liberated through any form, manifest that form to teach the Dharma is the supreme model of Buddhist skillful means, and the fundamental refutation of neoliberal non-intervention, non-guidance, value neutrality. In the 10 directions, bodhisattvas do not wait for prayer. Do not observe neutrally. Do not remain impartial. Do not reject responsibility. Guide when seeing delusion. Break when seeing wrong. Protect when seeing good. Stop when seeing evil. Manifest forms according to category. Teach according to opportunity. Instruct according to faculty. The core is proactive commitment to the duty of teaching. According with conditions means adjusting methods according to faculty depth, karmic conditions, identity differences, and receptivity, not abandoning guidance. Not clinging means not clinging to self, other, beings, life images, not clinging to results of accomplishment, conversion, or change, not abandoning obligation. Therefore, the complete meaning of Buddhist according with conditions without clinging is fulfill the duty of teaching with compassion, not cling to results with wisdom. Undertake guidance with skillful means. Avoid coercion with the middle way. IT is guidance without compulsion, responsibility without clinging, protecting good without indulgence, breaking wrong without anger, a perfect balance. This stands in essential opposition to the neoliberal value system that absolutizes non-intervention, abandons public morality, dissolves collective responsibility, and allows extremism to grow. 5.4 Fundamental divide from neoliberal non-intervention, non-guidance. Reflecting film plot, directly pointing to hidden perils. 5.4与新自由主义不介入、不引导的根本分野对照电影情节，直指隐忧。Under the banners of individual autonomy, value neutrality, and pluralistic tolerance, neoliberalism pushes non-intervention to an extreme, abandoning public moral guidance, discarding educational duty, erasing moral boundaries, weakening communal bonds. The result is ethical nihilism, social disorder, atomized individuals, and latent extremism, much like German society in the film, which adopts a laissez-faire attitude toward youth disorientation, communal closure, and extremist risks in the name of respect for choice, appearing tolerant yet deeply negligent. Grounded in the entire canon, the Buddhist middle way clearly proclaims, according with conditions is not laissez-faire. Not clinging is not abandoning responsibility. Skillful means is not neutral indifference. Adaptive teaching is not coercive manipulation. Faced with delusion, wrong views, and extremist tendencies, Buddhism insists that one must teach, guide, exhort, and protect, fulfilling the compassionate duty of prescribing medicine according to the illness. At the same time, through the wisdom of abiding nowhere, it avoids coercion, confrontation, attachment, and manipulation, maintaining peaceful balance. This wisdom remedies the neoliberal ills of radical individualism, hollow responsibility, and moral nihilism, while guarding against extremism, sectarianism, and compulsion. It offers an ultimate solution beyond East-West dualism for the modern crisis of individual freedom versus public responsibility, multiculturalism versus shared values, and the limits of tolerance versus moral foundations. Wu, Confucian and Buddhist confirmation, the arduous ascent of goodness, the sudden collapse of evil, and the human crisis of laissez-faire liberalism. 5. 五如佛合阵，从善如登，从恶如奔，与放任自由主义的人性危机。The Confucian teaching, following goodness is like climbing a mountain, following evil is like a landslide, reads in the original. The proverb says, following goodness is like climbing a mountain, following evil is like a landslide. Source: Discourses of the States, Discourses of Zhou, Part 2, by Zhuo Quming, Spring and Autumn Period, cited by Minister Biao Si when remonstrating with Lord Mu of Shan against casting a large bell, to illustrate the social pattern that doing good is difficult, doing evil is easy. Exegesis and extension. Wei Zhao Eastern Han commented, climbing signifies difficulty, landslide signifies ease. Book of the Later Han, biography of Zhang Huan, quotes this proverb to admonish his son, emphasizing the tradition that self-cultivation is arduous, degeneration is rapid. It complements the Book of History, Zhou Book, Zhou Guan, Exalted merit comes only from resolve, broad enterprise only from diligence, both pointing to the logic that progress toward goodness requires constant effort, while indulgence leads to swift decline. In Yogaca Buddhism, there are 11 wholesome mental factors: faith, shame, integrity, non-greed, non-anger, non-delusion, vigor, tranquility, non-indolence, equanimity, non-harmfulness. 26 unwholesome mental factors: 6 root afflictions: greed, anger, delusion, pride, doubt, wrong view, plus 20 secondary afflictions: rage, resentment, concealment, vexation, jealousy, meanness, deceit, flattery, harmfulness, arrogance, lack of shame, lack of integrity, restlessness, lethargy, non-faith, laziness, indolence, inattention, distraction, wrong discernment. Source: Treatise on the 100 Dharmas composed by Vasubandhu, translated by Xuanzang. Wholesome, 11. Unwholesome, 26. Commentary on the Consciousness. Only. Doctrine, Chapter Lu. Wholesome mental factors are the 11 including faith. Unwholesome mental factors are those including greed, 26 in total. In Theravada Buddhism, there are 25 beautiful mental factors including faith, shame, integrity, non-greed, non-anger, non-delusion, vigor, tranquility, etc. 14 unwholesome mental factors: delusion, lack of shame, lack of integrity, restlessness, greed, wrong view, pride, anger, jealousy, meanness, remorse, lethargy, sleep, doubt. Source: Abhidhammatta Sangaha composed by Anuruddha. Delusion, lack of shame, lack of integrity, restlessness, greed, wrong view, pride, anger, jealousy, meanness, remorse, lethargy, sleep, doubt. These 14 states are called unwholesome mental factors. Compendium of Abhidharma. 25 pure mental factors. Master Yingguang: in this world, rising upward is most difficult. Falling into degeneration is easiest. Unless one attains birth in the Western Pure Land, not even the human realm is reliable. Even if one is reborn in heaven, with long life and great blessings, once the merit power is exhausted, one will still fall back into the human realm or the 3 evil paths. Master Uyi: the mind is the root of karma. If the mind is upright, karma is upright. If the mind is perverted, karma is perverted. If unwholesome mental factors are not restrained, they are like floodwaters breaking a dike, overwhelming good roots in an instant. If wholesome mental factors are not guarded, they are like rowing a boat against the current. With the slightest slack, one falls back. Unwholesome mental factors have the characteristic of pervading all unwholesome minds. Delusion, lack of shame, lack of integrity, and restlessness arise together with any unwholesome thought, like oil mixing into flour, defiling quickly and thoroughly. Wholesome mental factors require opposing forces. Shame and integrity need moral self-awareness. Vigor needs sustained effort. Non-indolence needs mindfulness. Once protection is lost, unwholesome mental factors take advantage of the void, and wholesome mental factors decay like a landslide, fully consistent with the Confucian idea that following goodness is like climbing, following evil is like collapsing. Neoliberalism, under the principles of non-interference and non-guidance, abandons public moral education and blurs the boundary between good and evil. It essentially ignores the human reality that falling into evil is as easy. AS landslide and the psychological reality that unwholesome mental factors arise easily, inevitably leading to ethical nihilism, social disorder, and individual degeneration, fully matching the dereliction of German society in the film. Under the banners of individual autonomy, value neutrality, and pluralistic tolerance, neoliberalism pushes non-intervention to an extreme, abandoning public moral guidance, discarding educational duty, erasing moral boundaries, weakening communal bonds. The result is ethical nihilism, social breakdown, atomized individuals, and the quiet growth of extremism, much like German society in the film that, in the name of respect for choice, adopts a laissez-faire attitude toward youth disorientation, communal closure, and extremist risks, appearing tolerant yet deeply negligent. Grounded in the entire canon, the Buddhist middle way clearly proclaims, According with conditions is not laissez-faire. Not clinging is not abandoning responsibility. Skillful means is not neutral indifference. Adaptive teaching is not coercive manipulation. Faced with delusion, wrong views, and extremist tendencies, Buddhism insists that one must teach, guide, exhort, and protect, fulfilling the compassionate duty of prescribing medicine according to the illness. At the same time, through the wisdom of abiding nowhere, it avoids coercion, confrontation, attachment, and manipulation, maintaining peaceful balance. This wisdom remedies the neoliberal ills of radical individualism, hollow responsibility, and moral nihilism, while guarding against extremism, sectarianism, and compulsion. Ida offers an ultimate solution beyond East-West dualism for the modern crisis of individual freedom versus public responsibility, multiculturalism versus shared values, and the limits of tolerance versus moral foundations.